All right, I think we're live. And let me finish up the material we are going to go through today. And just let me know on the chat if you guys can hear me and see the video. Okay, so according to the plan, we're going to go through the optics part, like the optical design, lens coding, those kind of things in the following live stream. So, and of course, from an average person's perspective. So myself, I'm not a optics expert or professional. So all the information I am going to show in this and the two incoming live streams are going to be mostly secondhand and also from a understanding of a known optics professional. So for I think for you guys, if I try to explain things in a plain or more understanding way to average people, I think that would be most beneficial to help our viewers, our customers to better understand, okay, why do things appear to you like that? And also like the a little bit deeper end of the optics and rifle scopes. So my plan was to first introduce the most how do you say that the most apparent things. For example, all the specifications people see on the our data card coming along with our rifle scopes, and also all the I mean, when people are trying to compare scopes in between, okay, why is this 5 to 25 by 56 scope better than the other one or not as good as the other one? And then the specifications or data, and then what do those actually mean? So we're gonna, and then on the next episode, we are going to cover a little bit um, into the lens code, the glass lens, the lens coating, and the optical design, or like the internals of the optics, along with some mechanical designs that affect the performance of the scope for the next episode. And then the last one, I have not yet decided which topic we're going through yet, and we're going to do another poll to figure out what to cover in the third episode, or just answering, just trying to collect questions and feedback from the two other previous episodes. I think there are people coming in. There's I think I see 6 people now. So just rolling back. So we're going to cover according to the plan. We're going to cover the optical design or the internals or optics part of the rifle scope, and in the following 3 episodes. So I'm not an optics professional. For example, like some people might know, there's one. I mean, everyone knows the Ilya, Dark Lord of Optics, and he's the optics professional. So everything I might be using, pulling off some of his video ideas from him, but explain it in a more plain or average guy's perspective. So that's I'm trying to do in the next in this and the following 2 episodes of live stream. Of course, related to products that Discovery offers, for example, like the related to our scopes. So if you guys have any other suggestion or recommendations of topics we can cover in the live stream, just type in the chat or just let us know. And then of course, we're going to do a poll in the future, like we said, for the 3rd episode. So I see people in the chat typing. We can hear you. Okay, thanks. I think the audios and videos are good. And welcome everyone. And Guntoldon, Minnesota. Hey buddy. Hey GTM. Good to see you here. And Mike, Hunting Supplies by Mike. And hey, nice to see you again. It's a pleasure to watch your live stream here about optics. Okay, thank you for coming in. That's yeah, I think Mike, I've seen you a few times now, and thank you for coming. Thank you for your support. And okay. Before we start, I think there are a couple people who are there. Might be a couple people who are new here. So my name is Link Chen. I'm the product development assistant here from Discovery Optics. So I'm kind of like a representative who uh, do this live stream, and we do this every week, and it's scheduled for just around this time in the because there's a time difference. I mean, like actually in mainland China now, so it's like 9 a.m. for me. So whichever time zone you guys are, that's the time for you. It's around I think it's in the evening. Sorry, Thursday evenings. All right. Um, Let me just go ahead and share the screen with you guys and start this show. All right. Can you guys? Let me go back and check. Can you guys see a explosion, like exploded chart or graph of Riflescope? Just let me know if you can see it. I'm gonna make a full screen right here. I think it'll be better next time if I make a part. Okay, perfect. So, one second. Let me close it. Okay, so before we start, since we are talking about optics, there's a burning questions. There's a burning question I want to ask you guys. If you guys can explain it, why is the sky appears to be blue color? So this is like one of the things when people first get into optics or optics professionals, they have to understand because there's so there are so much knowledge. There's so much knowledge, and then the related things involved in these questions, like why is sky blue? And if I'm going to explain like this question for you guys, I think might take up to maybe 30 to 45 minutes, and then to cover everything because I like English is not my second first language, and I don't speak as fast as like the college professors. So like yeah, that we're not going to cover that, but just figure out a teaser if you guys want to find out like the deep end of the optics. This is the question like most people are going to run into. But before we and also before we go into the specifications of rifle scopes, I just want to show you guys. This is a exploded view of our ED 5 to 25 scopes, and most people don't. I mean, haven't seen this kind of graphics before. Figure, okay, this is rifle scope internals. There's like a few metal tubes and brackets, and also like lens, and never was able to see, okay, how complicated and how like how all these things put together. So I'm just gonna. So this is in our newest product catalog, the pamphlet, and then we're since we're going to the SHOT Show 2025, and then we are going to bring one of the pamphlet, and then you can see this is our one of our first pictures on the pamphlet. And I'm going to use this for just instead of explaining the things I'm going to cover next. So in comparison, this is another picture of the exploded picture, but this one I think I don't know if Andrew or GTM you have seen the scope. This is actually a Zeiss a Zeiss S5 5 to 25. I think the full name is Zeiss LRP 5 to 25 scope, and it's also exploded chart. So just in comparison of ours. I mean, in my eye, there's not too much difference in terms of like internal optics. So, okay. So, let me see. Okay. So let's start from the front to the back. So on the front here, if you guys can see, so when the scope is when the scope is finished design, so the first thing we make is probably the main tube. So it's from like here to here with this big chunk in the middle, the saddle part in the chunk in the middle, and then the objective lens on the back here is assembled and put into these kind of brackets and then pushed against the fixed. Inside of the bracket, there's like two or three like the aluminum rings to screw them together. So and also there may be like two or three pieces of lens. Two of them are glued together actually. On the front. So the first specification we involve is the objective size. So normally the bigger the objective, for example, like 56, 50, 52 millimeter, the bigger, the more light it comes in from the front of the objective. And also, I don't know if guys can tell, the thickness of the glass here is actually pretty significant. So with bigger objective, for example, you increase the objective size from to 44 to 56 millimeter, the weight is going to be increased also significantly. So that's what the secondary like things is going to affect. So, and also in the ballpark of the light transmission, the front piece or the first few pieces of lens on the front of the riflescope is usually the most expensive piece of glass. Of course, the size of the glass and also the quality of the lens on the front is going to be affecting everything behind it. So like if the image coming from the front is already not great, and then going to the second and third, it's going to be degrading, and then all the way up until the eyepiece. So usually the front lens is going to be made out of, for example, the ED525. We have three pieces of extra low dispersion. Actually, this one has one piece. The newer generations with coming next years would have three. So this one has one piece of Japanese extra low dispersion glass on the front on the first piece, and then all coming from there, the light, the image is going to be a lot better compared to conventional lens. That's so that's the front end of the what objective size actually affects. So there are some questions coming on the chat here. Let's see. Yes. Hello, guys. I like your scope. Very impressive. Thank you, Zoe. Zoe? Zoe? Okay. Thank you for choosing us, and hopefully we can bring more impressive products in the future for you guys. Thank you for your support. Yes, I have one sitting next to me right now. Ironically, not a bad optic for sure, and optics scope. And oh, that's an interesting name. Thank you for tuning in. And we're actually going through the optics of the scope right now. So, and okay, let's keep the things rolling. And the next part, if you guys can see, there's a tube right behind the front objective assemblies. So this tube actually hosts a part that allows the what is called there's two pieces of lens. Two pieces of lens are very important here. The first is the what is called a reticle. Sorry, the reticle lens. So the lens because this one is the first focal plane, so the reticle is like right around here in the front of the right behind the objective, even though there's a significant distance, because there's the front lens and then the the reticle, and I think, oh, sorry, before the reticle, there is a piece like right here is we call it a focus lens. So this one has with a spring tension here, and it moves inside of this tube right here, and is coordinated by the side parallax wheel. So side parallax wheel. So this piece of lens moving front to back, and then adjust the focus of the image on the coming front. And also this, because speaking of first and second focal plane, there's a quite a bit the difference in terms of the optical design difficulty. So usually the first focal plane rifle scope compared to the second focal plane. So the second focal plane rifle scope, I think I'm going to use this size because this one is a little bit too much information back here. So the first focal, from the front focal plane reticle is located like somewhere around can I see it? Okay, it's around here. Okay, these two pieces kind of stack really tight together. So one of them is the focus lens, the other one is the actually the reticle. Yeah, and the on the so the reticle can be on the front around here, or can be on the back in front of the ocular assembly. So what happened? Why does it make first focal plane first focal plane rifle scope a little bit more difficult to design and also more expensive? It's because when the light comes in from the front, um, the only lens that pass through before it focus or go through the reticle is the front objective and also the focus. So there's only three pieces of lens you can work with to correct the image. If there's anything wrong with it, it would appears to be messing up with the reticle. So for example, if a first focal plane Riflescope is poorly designed, you can see so much problems on when the light comes through in the reticle. So the reticle can be like blurry or just not as sharp and crisp. And also there could be some other problems too. But just for average people's understanding, you only have three pieces of lens to work the image before it goes through the reticle. But in terms of compared to the second focal plane reticle scope, if you are putting the reticle right here, everything go going from the front to back, you have so many lens elements you can work with to correct the image, including the erector tube that controls the magnification, so that when the image comes all the way back, when the light and image comes back to here, and you have worked the image to the best of the possibility, so that it's less likely to mess up with the reticle, so that it's easier to design. Also, usually it costs less too. And another side note is that I don't know if I think most people don't understand that a frontal focal plane reticle, the first focal plane reticle rifle scope, can be made into a second focal plane. Just move the not move, but just slide another piece of design, specially designed second focal plane reticle, and with not too much change of the design. But if the second focal plane reticle is not designed in the first place to compatible with first focal plane, they usually can't do it. So, and on the second focal plane reticle scope, you have a choice to make the image not to focus on the front part, just to go through everything without focusing right here. So that's another option, and that's another reason to write the second focal plane cannot mate into first focal plane. So that's the reticle part. So I think we started with the tube at the beginning, like the main tube right here. So I want to cover a little bit about tube sizes. So sorry, it's a little bit all over the place, but I think I need to pick this up because before we go into the erector system, we are going to need this part here. So the main tube size, you can see like 1 inch, 30 millimeters, 34, 35, or even 36. I think the max I've seen so far is 40 millimeter from IOR, or Cytron has one. And the main tube sizes, what does it actually affect? So a lot of people had misunderstanding of tube size actually affect the light transmission because the internal is bigger, so it allows more it allows more light transmission, but it's actually not like that. So the biggest advantage of having a bigger tube is to allow more adjustment range, because if you can see, I'm gonna use this ice here. So this tube here, where the elevation and windage chart engage, is how they control the movement of the internal adjustment. So if, for example, if you can, so if you guys can see my cursor right here, this gap in between the erector tube and also the to the main tube, this gap right here is basically what it determines how much usable elevation or windage adjustment you would have. So basically, if you make the erector tube like the size and then increase the tube sizes, it's going to usually it's going to allow bigger adjustment range. So the biggest advantage of, like I said, the biggest advantage of going into a bigger tube is to allow more adjustment without compromising too much of the image through the scope. Okay, I think there are some questions. Let me go through it. I'd really love to see a Discovery 3 215, but with the reticle of Discovery HT. So you like the more simple mil or MOA hashes reticle, right? And we are planning to launch I think some second focal plane scope in the coming year. So stay tuned. We will announce it once the design or the product comes out for sure. And okay, so we are at the erector system. Sorry, we are at the tube size. So, and there's another how do you say, a side advantage, like the coming along with them going into a bigger tube, is that the lens element inside of the erector tube and also the these pieces that basically coordinated with the tube it's going to allow bigger lens element right here. So basically, if a Riflescope increase the scope from like 30 to 34 with bigger lens element, it would usually allow bigger field of view and bigger image when you see through from the ocular. So that's I think the two biggest advantage of going to a bigger tube. And so we're at the I think we're at the reticle system right here. I think there's 7 people right now here, and Stephen A. Thank you for coming in. Have in 3 PRS Gen 2 5 to 25. Love them. Is there going to be a release of Gen 3 anytime soon? So there's definitely going to be a Gen 3 coming in, but I am not aware of when. So we consider this a Gen 2 5 to 25 a very, how do you say, very competitive product. So it's likely going to be staying for at most another year. And in terms of redesigning or improving the product, we have tried or discussed a few certain plans of the future plans of how to improve upon the current Gen 2. We just couldn't we couldn't think of too much improvement we can put on that would significantly increase the performance or the usability of the scope. So that's why that Gen 3 is, we're not pumping out like Gen 3 like we previously were doing, like from Gen 1 to Gen 2 within like a year and a half. So that was like a really fast iteration, because when the Gen 1 5 to 25 came out, we liked the scope, and then it performed decently well, but we were not very satisfied with certain specifications coming in along with it. And also the competition has been very stiff, or I mean the price range of what we are targeting for the Gen 1 5 to 25 and Gen 2, as of course, is getting more and more crowded and competitive. So we decided, okay, we need to step up our game to just build on this a little bit. So the Gen 2 is out, and then we might do some small changes from like the, for example, like a throw lever and also packaging on the Gen 2 5 to 25, but not to overhaul the mechanical and optical design of the Gen 2, probably for another, in my opinion, one more year. But we don't know if someone coming to really hammer us in the price range we're trying to targeting, we might think of just do another one in the near future. So agree, they are agree, they are really good. I would nice to see if yours 5 to 25 SFIR first. Okay, yeah. Thank you for your appreciation. We love to see the feedbacks of the rifle scopes and things we can improve on for sure. GTM, the Gen 2 is already really good. The Gen 2 box is better than Gen 1. Okay, yeah, it is. But the image was already surprisingly good on the Gen 1 for the price point. Yeah, I agree. I personally have seen both Gen 1 and Gen 2 and all the iterations or the small changes it has gone through, because I was very engaged or very involved in the development part of these two scopes and collecting mostly collecting feedbacks from the shooters and users. So and also, of course, I'm like me myself has improved on understanding of what people really like on need on these kind of rifle scopes. So yeah, hopefully we can make these things better. Also, Stephen, if you don't mind, you're talking about the generation 3 of the rifle scope. If you have anything that you think we can improve or put on to step up the performance of the Gen 2, just also let us know, or you can type in the chat for sure, and we can talk about it, because this live stream is mostly for us to get in touch with the end users and also interact with them, answer their questions, and also helping them with solving some if there's any issues coming up. So like the media outlet for us. So there aren't many opportunities, I guess, for at least for me, from the product development side, to get in touch with the end users directly. So one suggestion is to package the scope with the medium height rings. Yes. So I had a discussion, I think, with other people in the company about this idea of just not include we're planning, we discussed the plan to not include the rings for the scope, but also maybe cut on the price for just in the compensation of the ring, so that people can maybe spend money to actually choose the ring height that they wanted. Because if you go, let me show you guys really quick. I'm going to go to our website. Just a sec. And also, by the way, it's Christmas season, because I'm in China right now, so we don't like have this kind of huge Christmas holiday thing. So even though I lived in the States for almost 6 years, so because I came back in China last year, this February, so kind of made me forgot. We have a Christmas sale going on our website, and you guys should just come and check it out. And for I know it's might be a little bit late, but maybe pick a Christmas gift for yourself. And if you're in the States, on Amazon, or we have things in stock here for you guys to consider for sure. And with the code, everything is 15% off. And then it's not a huge discount, but I think it will save you guys some for sure. Sorry, going back to the topic, and I think we're trying to make our rings as affordable as possible. For example, the 7075 rings, we are only going for $50, but in my opinion, they are definitely, they perform as well as the some of the rings that cost twice or three times, or even not. Haven't seen a lot of rings that costed 4 times close to 200, but there are out there. And I think it works a lot more. And then you guys can see there are so many options of the rings, and the rings are included in our ED lines of scopes are actually one of these. So instead of having like a one set of rings included in the box, I think we had to have discussed the plan that we'll just let the user to buy their own rings, because we already made these very affordable and precision oriented rings very affordable. So we have 34.97 like low rings, 1.26 medium rings, and high rings, and then all three heights for both 30 and 34. So that I think it's already. I think that's the one of the direction we're thinking of going. So because different people need different height rings, and it's just if we include something like a 1.45, and then people who shoot bolt actions or like hunting rifle is going to, okay, that ring is too high, I need a low ring. And then if someone who shoots like AR-15, and then we include something like even a medium ring, 1.26 is like too low for AR-15 or RPR. So that's a difficult question for us. So it will be easier for the user to choose the ring height for themselves. Okay. Okay, GTM toolless zero reset is always my shortest of improvement. Okay. I think I remember you coming to SHOT, and then we are going to bring one of our okay, I know there are a lot of people here on live stream, but this is for GTM. So I don't know if anyone have reached out to you yet, but we are going to bring one of our 6-36 XCD. So the promised 6-36 scope to the SHOT Show. And that one is going to have a toolless zero. It's like I don't know if you have seen one of those the Bushnell Match Pro, the older one, the 6-24, which has like a huge screw. You can just tighten it with your hand. And then that's the design of the 6-36. I recommended that one to our designer, and I think it's going pretty well. I'm going to shoot you an email once we get off live stream, and then just show you some pictures and the things I've received from the product development, like the R&D people, and just to let you know what the turret is going to look like, and then let's take a look at those actually later. 34mm 1.26 height rings are really nice from Discovery. You work well. Okay, thank you for your appreciation. We those rings are, I consider those are like a really good for price and performance as well. Raise highest quality, impressive. Okay, one and still, thank you for coming in. And do you make any rings that fits 11mm dovetail? So dovetail rings are on our to-do list in the incoming year. So the issue we were running into for the dovetail is that there are, I think, three different specifications of sorry, excuse me. Three different specifications for the dovetail. The 13mm is for the European market, and also two different designs for dovetail in the US. I think one is the kind of like a curved top, and one is the flat top. So we are still finalizing the design for the rings and how to accommodate. Hopefully, not both of them, but one of them at least, two of them at least. And yes, it is coming, but not anytime soon. But stay tuned, we'll get there. And one suggestion for your rings is to include the integrated bubble level. So we have, I think we have a bubble level. Oh, so you're talking about putting a bubble level like somewhere on the top cap or the bottom cap, right? I have discussed that idea as well, but the instead of going into the mechanical part of the leveling, in the incoming year there is a plan to we are actually going to challenge an idea of making a electronic level. and then trying to knock the price down from, let's say, the common, like the popular design of the, let's say MDT Senate, and also the what's the other one, SG Impulse, because I think for an electronic level that can withstand the recoil and be reliable, I think we can do that with a lot more affordable price, and then that's going to be more helpful compared to like redesign or putting the just the level bubble on the scope rings. I know there are like a lot of companies like selling stuff like that on Amazon, but we think we can, like, I mean, everything, in my opinion, like we do is or precision oriented, including the lacking the ring and like pre grinding the rings and everything. So we decide I think we can do a little bit better than that. So what's your for rings? Yeah, okay, yeah. So that's still on the topic. Mike, you're gonna say right, ring files will need also a good rings on dovetail. Yeah, we do have a lot of end users reporting to us that they want rings. I mean, the rings with these features for their air guns. Yeah, of course, we are going to cover that um, in the in the incoming year for sure. That's why I'm asking. Electronic level would be also MTT has one, but it's like 200. Yes, we have a lot of user requesting, okay, can we make a bubble electronic level with affordable price? And then it is it is planned in the incoming year, but I don't know like when it is going to be released. So stay tuned, and we'll announce it when it's coming out. At least in the live stream, if it's on the shelf, and then I will announce it like on the live stream. If you guys come, just every Thursday night, and then we can talk about it later. And Carnival. Sorry, I'm struggling with names. I'm just gonna call you Carnival. Okay. Thank you for coming in, and we were covering some optical design with this explosion. Exploded here, and then people are brought me into attention that talking about rings and then scope mounts and everything. So, and yeah, let's go back to the topic today of the scope designs. Okay, so I think since we were talking about rings, one thing I would like to mention is that, for example, if you have rings on mount and then clamp like right here on like this area, and then if you tighten the rings to a point that is going to crush the tube, or the basically if the not our scope, but maybe some other people's scope, that the tube is not strong enough. And one thing you can directly damage is behind these. I'm going to use this ice here again. Behind this area here, you can see there's two pieces of lens and a very thin tube inside of it. It's affecting the movement of the side focus. So if you crush the tube like right here, and then it could damage, it could affect the movement, like the free movement of the side parallax. So that's the one thing you do not want to happen. So do not over torque your rings, especially the front part, because on the back here, if you can see, there's a big gap in between the tube, and also in between the tube and the erected assembly. So not recommending to over torque this one here, but if you can avoid doing it, definitely not over torquing this one, because that's that could cause more problem than over torquing this one. So okay, so I think going from the front to back, we are at the saddle part here, so the adjustment, and then I know the turret assembly may not look very complicated from the outside, but the internals are actually, there are so many pieces of elements here, if you guys can see, are screwed all the way together. So, and again, from the machining perspective, like a mechanical design, we need to make everything, like all the elements here, all the parts here, very, very precise to ensure the click value, so the tracking accuracy, to be good enough So because there are so many parts, so that means there are so many variables can affect the tracking accuracy. So, for example, even if for a very experienced or very precise machined scope assembly, if you make like 100 of like if you assemble like 100 scope on the assembly line, regardless of who are making them, there is going to be some scope, like some of them, like maybe depending on quality control, it's like 10 or maybe 20 or maybe even 50 of over 100 is not going to track right because there are so many variables here, and tolerance stacks. So if you make one is out of spec or close to the edge of the spec, and then it just adds up. So that's why the QC, the quality control part of the scope manufacturing is so important, because letting one scope out that doesn't track right is, I mean, for the scope company, is like the fairly common or easy thing to do, but for the end user, it might be disastrous. Like if a Riflescope tracks like 10% of like 10% fat, and then if you shoot out to like a 1,000 yard, dialing like 4308, like dialing 10 mils, like 100 clicks, it actually goes like 110, and it's going to cost you to miss the shots, and then that's not going to be a pleasant day. So yeah, and yes, we do tracking tests on every single scope we let out from our assembly line. So that's why we have the tracking accuracy guaranteed marked on the R turret here. And I think there are some questions coming in. Let's see where I was at. Vision Fact, hi fellows, thank you for tuning in. And let's see, I was just going through some specifications that affect scope's performance using this floated chart graph here. And if you have a second, take a look at it, and if you see if you have any questions about parts, and we have covered. The foot panel discovery rings are nice. Yes, that's one of the reasons we really want to mark those, because we would like the users to torque the ring specs properly, not only on our scope, maybe used on some other optics to maybe cost, I mean, up to like 10 times more than our rifle scopes. So, does the factory you produce these make a scope for other brands? Currently, no. We only make our own scopes for discovery, and then no, we do not do OEMs anymore on the current stage. And then if there's no plan or desire to going into OEM again in the future, because we think that building our own brand is more significant and then more meaningful to us compared to just doing OEM to sell a product. And then we are proud to, I mean, it's just that's one thing really interesting about the industry, is because there aren't many manufacturers or the scope companies that make everything in-house that now these days, because I mean the global development of the business and everything makes outsourcing so easy. But we think that taking everything in control on our own hands is going to ensure the quality of the product and everything that related to, because so many things can go wrong, and then we want to make sure everything goes right for both for us and also for our customers. So we're not doing OEMs anymore, and there's no plan in the future doing OEMs. In fact, we have I cannot enclose like who they are, but we have received inquiries of OEM from very attractive potential partners, but we have rejected. So just taking that into consideration, we are committed to make our product, make our stuff good for you guys. I'm also working on the Hassan 125 project, and you asked me to do, so I'm not super familiar with Hassan 125 and like the air rifle word, but good for you. We definitely are supportive for people who shoot air guns. Those are very fun to shoot, and then very good way to work optical accuracy for sure. So a little in mind regarding scope, lots of elevation in lightweight setup, not too bulky, and a little longer tube at the back, be more space of the cantilever. Yeah, so we actually noticed the design we were using before. Let me go back to the uh, chart graph here. So this part here is for the most part hosting the erector tube. So we noticed that this part is a little bit too short on the back for maybe even for some of the rings, and then user have a lot of users have reported on this. So that's one of the reasons in our incoming scopes, for example, like the 5 to 40 and also the incoming 6 to 36, we increase the length of this part here to allow more clamping on like the surface area. Yeah, just like most of other brands. But in terms of 5 to 25, if there's a Gen 3 iteration, we're definitely going to consider that in the future. And hopefully I get it done this weekend. Yeah, good luck with your project in walnut and steel, and hopefully it works out for you. And I actually rated my EDPRS Gen 2 better than my Arcane EP5. Thank you for your comparison. I think they each have advantages, and also does well in the price range they're coming in. So I'm not going too deep about the comparison in between our scope and other brands because that's one of the things required for my live stream to be just about us and our customers. But in terms of design of the scope, our ED5-25 from the outside, or all the looks and everything, the optics on the optically and everything, it's different from the EP5. But I think they both have advantages, and also it's very competitive in the price range, like I said. Thank you for your notice. Yeah, we don't have, I think, I mean, even if we have a lot of people here on the live stream, I'm trying to cover everything that in the live chat as soon as possible. I'm going to like talk a little bit about the things I prepared and then going back to the comment. So just feel free to come in. And if you have friends who are interested in optics or getting to know us better, just definitely invite them, and then we'd love to see you guys here and then talk about the things we care about, and also we can help you with. So yeah, this live stream is about mostly about for you guys, for our users and customers, not to sell the products. And because I mean, online shopping or even like to get our products is definitely easier than just telling people about these things. So you guys can just go to our website and then place the order, and then in 3 days it's going to be at your door, and then try it out for yourself. So Alex from CDM, Precision is great, the distributor of your Discovery Scope. Yes, I know Alex personally because that's one of the first YouTuber we have reached out when we started promoting our scopes. And Alex is a really nice guy, very professional, and also he knows a lot about optics as well because he has seen so many of them. And I think in Canada, if I were in Canada, a customer in Canada, I probably would just go to his website and then do all the purchasing through him, because he's very professional, very responsive, and also has a great channel. If you are interested in rifle, or even optics, or even ammo, and anything TRS or NL22 related things, go to his channel. It's Epic Arms. EPIT. Let me type it in. Epic Arms. Oh, sorry. Epic Arms is his channel, and then check it out because I think his channel has a lot of great content. I know him like way back in, I think either in 2018 or 2019, when his channel not first started, but just started, and it was like affordable optics and rifle reviews. And I think he reviewed a lot of interesting optics from like the Chinese-made ACOG, and then some like really cheap Chinese scopes back then. And some were good, some were not so great until he, excuse me, until he saw one of I managed to send him one of Discovery Optics a new like scope, and then he said, okay, this is the time to hop in, and then we're gonna carry uh, this scope in his on his website, and then that's how things started. And then he has a lot of other things on his website too, but they are all great products. Like I love the YouTubers and also people who do retailing use his or her own product, because like the if for example, if I'm going to do the retail, I'm not going to promote or sell the stuff that me personally I don't approve, even though some of them are going to sell well, but it's just for me, like my personal preference is to stay authentic and honest for the things I represent, right? I purchased two scope directly from Discovery. The shipping is very fast, only 44 to my two EDPRs. Yeah, I think we have been improving on shipping and basically logistic on our company very vastly, like very fast in the last year or so. And I'm the only one. Sorry, I didn't finish the last one. So hopefully in the future we can make shipping and everything a lot faster. Because nobody wants to wait, especially for the time, like crucial time, like right now. People are hopefully are not too much panicking about the Christmas, and then last minute purchase for people who are trying to give out Christmas present for for other people, and who are interested in scopes and who can use one of our scopes and rings. I'm the only one in here in El Salvador making reviews only of optics, and then also sold Discovery Optics because receive a lot. You receive a lot for the price. Yes, that's one of our like the how do you say our advantages, the value for sure. Discovery sent me a scope with the NV LHD NV 4016 by 44. It was great, clear, and has 90 MOA. Only missing the length of the back tube and zero stop with a lot of error elevation. Yes, I think that scope. Like I really like those two LHD NV scopes, because I think those are great and like general purpose scope. You can put them on pretty much everything. You can shoot like air guns because they're relatively short and lightweight, and also carry for hunting, and also with that magnification and also the HD level of optical performance, I think I can reach further than, reach out to what the cartridges are capable of for sure. And for the NVE 4016, I don't think it has a zero stop, but I think we make them in locking turret. The LHD 6224 and the LHD 8232 model has the zero stop, if I'm correct. $40 on custom duties. Yes. Again, we're trying to make things affordable, but some people that they don't think this is appropriate, they want to charge you. So that's one of the reasons that the world is so how do you say so difficult living right now, because everyone wants to charge more than that they deserve. And hopefully we can hold up to the expectation for our customers' expectation for us to stay true and authentic, and also provide the best value we can um, to seek benefit on both ends, both for manufacturing companies and also for the customers. So hope it has the upgraded version, at least 110 away and zero stop. Based on the plan for the LHD line, we are going to have some new products coming in. But if you don't, so for the LHD products, right? If you don't mind, you can check out one. We have a updated model. 1 second, let me switch screen really quick. We have a Chrome tag right here. We have a We have a updated 8 to 32 model, but with the 56 millimeter objective lens for quite affordable prices, like under 250. And also this one has a 15% off too. So model has updated with the like a bigger objective and updated tree type reticle, and also the more elevation adjustment, like up to 36 mil, and a zero stop. So if you don't mind the length and weight for the scope, it's not as heavy as the ED5 to 25, but it's like heavier than the what is it called? Heavier than the 4016, right? And I consider this one to be a very good option for you if you're shooting air guns, because most people don't really care about the how low it goes, like the magnification on the low end, but it does go up to 32. So, and also with the bigger objective. And then I think in this price range, this is going to be competitive, maybe for the next year or few years or so, if you actually. So, correct me if I'm wrong. If you look at this specification and then with this price range, you might wonder, okay, how do I choose in between this and the EDPRS 5 to 25? And in my opinion, the easy way is like the ED5 to 25 is designed for like the PRS or NR22 shooter who are actually care about the speed. And like, I mean, if you re-zero your turret very often, this kind of mechanism with the 3 set screws on the top is going to be a lot slower than the ED5 to 25 with like, or even other ED models with the top screw. So if I'm like a competitive shooter who is going to shoot like PRS on NR22, definitely choose the ED5 to 25 or even like 4 to 20, 5 to 40. And then if you are just a shooter who shoot recreationally with the set on the like a fixed position or even not like a dynamic, this scope is going to be performed well enough for you and with a little bit less cost. And I'm pretty confident with the optical design of this optic is going to perform. It's not as top notch as the 5 to 25. I think it's definitely good enough for like average shooter. So that's my take on this rifle scope. And also, you're getting the 56 millimeter objective without paying the premium price. So I consider this to be a very important update for our incoming year. Hope it has an upgraded version, at least 110 MOA and zero stop. Yeah, so this is what I think. This scope you might want to check out. And also, I think since it's on the shelf right now, we might want to send some of these out for people to review. So if you guys or some of you have reviewed our products before, just reach out to us and we can possibly arrange one for you to review. Hopefully it works out for us. And also in terms of Carnival, you have mentioned MOA. So we are going to have MOA version of some of the scopes that we are is on the hot seat in the past year or so. So for example, the 5 to 25, the ED5 to 25 is going to have an MOA version very soon. And also the some of our product like this one here, the LHD 8-32 is going to have a MOA version too. So yeah, we are listening to our product, listening to our customers to change the, just improve on the versatility of our Riflescope products. MRAD or MOA will do. Yeah. Okay. Thanks. So for me, I prefer MRAD like the MIL for long range shooting, and MOA works too. But I'm actually, so when I was in the States, I started MOA, and then once I learned MIL, and then I decided, okay, I'm not going to go back to MOA. So all the future scope I'm going to use is going to be MRAD. So but we do understand a lot of people prefer MOA because it's easier calculation when you zero the scope and everything. So excuse me. So MRAD seems to be more popular these days. Yes, just for the smaller numbers, easier adjustment changes. Yeah, I think I missed one. I think the class is better than the is better on the EDPRS Gen 2. Yeah, yes, that's the difference in between the HD and ED product line is that HD uses it's not bad class, but not as good as the ED series because once you go up to either higher magnifications, if you go into like difficult lighting conditions, for example, like some PRS or NRL 22 matches, or even like the NRL Hunter matches, they are outdoors, and then sometimes the weather is not good, like it's like overcast or too much sunlight, and then the optical system on the lenses, the flaw on the lenses, the flaw on the optical design is going to be magnified. So it's always good to pay a little bit more for the class, for sure. I think we're at the bottom of the comments, and then thank you guys for interacting with me or with us. So it's very important for me to get to know what people are thinking, and also like I mean I don't mind recommending some products for you guys once in a while. And even though I'm not a salesperson, but I think I know well enough to all the products that we have, and to point you into the correct direction. And yeah, let's go back to the topic. I think we're almost an hour. I'm going to cover a little bit more, finish up around the ocular rectitube and ocular side really quick, and I think that's I'm gonna get off within probably 15 minutes or so, and then unless you guys have other questions I need to go through. So we were talking about the center part, the adjustment. So for those people who don't know how the scope adjustment, like the elevation and windage goes, there's I'm gonna use the dice again because this one is a little bit too much. On the bottom left corner, it's usually bottom left. Some scope has it on bottom right, but I'm not 100% sure. On the bottom left corner, if you're looking from the ocular side, on the bottom left corner of the saddle part, there's a spring assembly right here. Is how do you say, engaged on the erector tube to put tension like diagonally, and then the vertical or the elevation turret is putting the tension from the top, and then the how do you say, the windage turret is putting the tension on the erector tube on the horizontally. So basically these three forces cancel each other to hold the erector tube in place. And then when you need adjustment, so you twist the elevation turret so that the erector tube move up and down, and then the windage turret goes left and right. And then this part here, the spring, has a different design. So for example, if you can see this one has a kind of like a leaf spring, or the very compressed spring like inside. But we use the external one here to hold the entire assembly. So there's no like, we consider there's no good and bad on each one, but as long as it works and also it tracks and then also holds zero, and then that's not a huge advantage or disadvantage. So that's the how do you say, the adjustment, like elevation and windage adjustment work on this part. And then inside of the erector tube assembly, you can see there's a lot of brackets and lens. So basically, if you look at here, there's how do you say? Oh, let's count: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this one has 6, and ours has these are the focus assembly. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Also 6 pieces of lens. So what do these do? Is they move. So when you twist the the magnification ring, so all these lenses changes in terms of position. So this can move front and back, and to change the magnification. So that's how the magnification changes work. So because there are so many lens elements inside of the erector tube, And this the accuracy or the optic design on this part is basically determines how good the image is going to be across the band of magnification. For example, some of the scope has really deteriorated image in the lower magnification, and then on the higher magnification it's like really good. So in in terms of the theory of the optimizing the magnification range, also sorry, I failed to cover this, but the rectitude side, like this part here, determines like the zoom ratio. For example, what you can do is when you finish designing this part, the rectitude, you can change out the front part to make this scope like, for example, it's like a 5 times zoom. It can be 2 to 10, 3 to 15, 5 to 25. It's only changing the front part of the scope, and then this back part stay the same. So if you look very closely, our 5 to 25 and also the 4 to 20 scope look almost identical from the shadow part behind. There's only a change on the front part. So and then that's an interesting part of the Riflescope design. So there's a how to say point about the zoom ratio. For example, like the 5 times zoom, the 5 to 25, 4 to 20, compared to like maybe the 8 or even the 10. If you go up or higher in the magnification zoom ratio, and there would be more lens element inside of the, usually more lens element inside of the erector tube, and also possibly make this a little bit heavier. And again, the difficulty of designing the optics goes up if you go up in the zoom ratio. And then of course, like when the optical engineers optimize the optical performance, they have to go through pretty much every single magnification to do it individually. For example, if the scope goes from like, let's say 3 to 12, there's only 9 different magnification, like from 2 to 3 to 12 to optimize. So it's relatively easy, and then not too much work. And then if you decide, okay, we want to do something like a 3 to 24, so the difficulty or the workload goes like basically double, because there's 3 and then to 12 is only 9 different magnifications, and also 3 to 24, that's like 21. So there's a lot more work to do. So and now these days, I think people figure out, okay, the to gain the advantages of both having low enough magnification and also let the rifle scope goes like high enough. The sweet spot is usually like either 4 or 5. Some people think that's 6, but I think most people like I mean the mainstream is right now staying at 5, because like you can get like, for example, 5 to 25 and 2 to 10, like go 2 in the lower end and 5 on the higher end. And 3 to 15 is like a very popular hunting magnification range, and also like very versatile. And then both 4 to 20 and 5 to 25 can be used in like PRS 22 or PRS competitions. And nowadays it's moving up, like from 5 to 25 to 7 to 24. So I mean 6 to 36 is basically the same concept, but with the 6 time zoom ratio, so that people think, okay, I'm getting a little bit more from the both. Getting a little bit more from the both ends. So compared to the 7 to 24, 7 to 35, sorry. And yeah, that's about the magnification or zoom ratio is accomplished through the lens, like right here on this part here. And then going from the erector tube, and then that's behind it is the ocular lens. So same idea as the objective lens. So these are the ocular lens usually has 2 or 3, sometimes 3 elements, and then some of them are basically glued together. I think the Zeiss has 1, 2, 3 pieces, and then we have ours is 2 pieces, but if you can tell, the second piece is very thick. So and there's not too much to say about the ocular lens, because it affects some aspect affects the field of view, like the image you see, and the size of the optical lens, like the ocular housing as well, would affect the field of view quite a bit too. So if you guys know, there's a new scope that has very big, huge ocular size, and then allows like 40% of something increase of field of view. That's and then I think our scope has pretty very competitive field of view inside of the competition too. So, and also you can tell the ocular housing on our rifle scope is pretty big too. So that's correlated. And I think people are dropping out quite a bit. But if you guys are still here, and let me know and if you have any other questions, because I think I've gone through a lot of stuff and answered your questions. And then if there's other things you guys want to cover, and we can go through that too. Mm. I think next time I'm going to cover some specifications of the maybe misconceptions about the specifications that on the rifle scope. For example, like the light transmission. So some scope claims like a 92, 91% light transmission, but in fact, the light transmission number, like the percentage itself, does not show how good the image look. Really, like if you look at the scope, it can be like 90% light transmission, but the image look brighter to your eyes compared to like the other scope like has 90% light transmission. So, and some manufacturers are not. I mean, at least people who make the specification chart like really don't know what do those mean. So I'm gonna probably going to cover those in the next live stream. And another one I can think of is the twilight factor, because people think, okay, higher twilight factor means better low light performances. It's actually not quite like that. Like the low light performance is one like tricky thing, and I'm going to just cover that briefly. And then some of our scope are specialized or basically optimized for low light performance. For example, the ED315 is actually really good low light scope. And I think, thank you for this. Thank you, and A plus. Thanks, thank you, Stephen, and great to see you guys here. And good luck for the new design. I hope I can get my hands off your bad boys. Okay, for sure. I'll be releasing. Doing the live stream here if we have a new product coming out, and let you guys know. And we have. I think we're just barely over an hour now, and I think I'm gonna close this in maybe about 5 minutes. And if you guys have other questions, just let me know, and then I'm gonna just chill a little bit and think about if there's anything I missed. Let me see. Take a close look at this thing here. All right. Any other questions or concerns or suggestions? Since someone talked about the how do you say, the clamping surface, I'm going to take a look at this 5 to 40 because I think this one. Yeah, so on the 5 to 40 scope, the rear end here is definitely longer because it has a 8 times zoom ratio. So the rect assembly is different from the 5 to 25. So if you don't mind the price and can use the magnification, you can definitely go with this one because I think so. The from the outside, I mean the controls and everything. The 5 to 40 is the, compared to the 5 to 25, but it has the higher magnification range. And I've seen the scope for myself. I think it's very good, at least at 25 hour, in between 25 to 30. This scope is definitely better than the 5 to 25. But the image go from the 30 to 40 is very useful if you're looking at something in a good lighting condition in a long distance. And I think the only uh, limitation of this scope is it has a 35 millimeter tube instead of 34. So getting rings, and we have a 35 millimeter rings for coming with the scope in the box. So if you don't mind trying this out, I think the clamping surface on the back is definitely going to satisfy you because it looks more like normal to me instead of shortened design on the 5 to 25. And I don't see any other questions coming in now. And so I'm just gonna close this. If you guys, I think people had popped in the last minute or so. If you guys have other questions or things that need us to address, please leave your comment on this live stream, and then we have at least me personally, I check the comments and on the live stream and also other videos very often. So just let us know, and we are out. And sorry, last but not least, most importantly, Merry Christmas, and hope you guys enjoy your holiday season. And then we shall see you uh, probably should be after Christmas on the day after Christmas. This will be the 26th. So yeah, and Merry Christmas. Yes, Merry Christmas to you, good sir, and everyone who is here. And we are out.